Mr. President, I really need to speak with you.
Not now, Brendan Carr. Satan won't eat his carrots. Brendan Carr, don't!
Whoa! Oh, God! Oh!
Wow!
That's funny.
Yeah.
South Park just went darker than ever. And nobody's talking about it like seriously. What are we even doing as a society? The show that's famous for roasting everyone just dropped an episode so twisted it makes their old controversies look like bedtime stories. Did South Park finally go too far, or are we just too scared to laugh this time?
This was called Conflict of Interest, South Park Season 27, Episode 5.
Mr. President, I'm feeling much better.
Brendan Carr!
South Park has never been afraid to cross lines, but Season 27, Episode 5 didn't just cross them, it set them on fire and danced on the ashes. The episode dives straight into chaos when Satan shows up holding this mysterious black box, all dramatic and cryptic, saying it holds a secret that no one should ever know. And when he finally opens it, boom, a positive pregnancy test. Yeah, you heard that right. South Park actually made Satan pregnant, and the father is none other than Donald Trump. It sounds insane, but that's exactly the kind of move that makes this show a master at wrapping political madness inside the most ridiculous scenarios. The whole thing feels less like a joke, and more like a warning that's wearing a clown nose.
Will the head of the FCC be okay, Doctor?
His bones are healing, so he may regain full range of motion. But if the toxoplasmosis parasite gets to his brain, I'm afraid he may lose his freedom of speech.
Now here's where it gets darker. That baby isn't just a baby. It's what the episode treats as a symbol for something much bigger and much more dangerous. A secret that powerful people would do anything to keep hidden. The black box and the pregnancy aren't just props, they're metaphors for the kind of forbidden truths that are too messy, too explosive to ever be brought into the light. South Park doesn't spell it out, but the subtext is loud and clear. It's not just poking fun at politics, it's decoding the entire system. The writers turned a demonic pregnancy into a mirror that reflects how far those in power will go to bury the things they don't want the world to see.
I've been trying to convince the boss to get rid of the baby. I'm next in line to be president. That baby cannot be born.
Trump's frantic attempts to get rid of the baby become the show's twisted version of a political thriller. Every wild thing he tries, every ridiculous stunt, is really a stand-in for the ways people in charge scramble to erase evidence or silence anyone who gets too close to the truth. South Park turns the absurd into something uncomfortably real, like when Satan keeps getting sabotaged in the most ridiculous ways possible. It's funny, it's chaotic, and yet somewhere under all the chaos, it hits a nerve. It's like the writers are laughing right in the face of power, daring the audience to connect the dots.
And if you continue to interfere, I will make things very difficult for you. We can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way.
What makes it even more brilliant is that the humor doesn't kill the message, it hides it in plain sight. The more absurd the plot gets, the more it feels like the show is whispering something serious underneath all the noise. This baby that everyone's trying to destroy becomes a metaphor for truth itself, fragile, inconvenient, and constantly under attack. And the black box, that little mysterious object that started it all, feels like the heart of every secret the powerful keep locked away.
Another gift for the baby. Another present for the baby? What about me? Everyone is so excited for the... yeah, sure, well excited.
Just when you think South Park can't throw in another curveball, they bring in J.D. Vance, and not as a background character, but as the guy literally whispering in Trump's ear. He doesn't come across like a loyal helper, he feels more like the shadow behind the throne. the one pulling strings and making sure secrets stay buried. His goal in the show is crystal clear. He wants to stop that baby from ever being born, which in South Park language basically means he wants to make sure no one ever finds out what's really going on. The baby isn't just some bizarre storyline, it's the symbol of truth, the one thing that could expose everything these people have worked so hard to hide.
Well,
music.
when the baby comes, no more dinner parties in the Rose Garden, no more baseball games, no more traveling, no more
more
long
golf.
nights at Mar-a-Lago.
Oh,
The way the show handles Vance is wild because it takes a real public figure and turns him into this eerie mix of ambition and silence. He's not the comic relief, he's the quiet threat, the kind of guy who doesn't raise his voice, because he knows power doesn't need to shout. And that's the dark twist here. South Park isn't just making fun of him. It's showing how modern politicians can be built, rather than born, created in boardrooms, and bankrolled by people who want a mouthpiece in power. J.D. Vance becomes this perfect stand-in for that type of person, polished, packaged, and programmed to protect whoever built his career. It's unsettling because the show doesn't even have to exaggerate much to make it work.
Mr. President, I really need to speak with you.
Oh, come on, Satan, you're eating for two now. Carrots are good for you, see?
Then comes the real twist. The man behind the curtain, Peter Thiel. South Park doesn't call him out directly, but the connections are too clean to ignore. Thiel is this billionaire tech mastermind. On paper, Gotham sounds noble, like something designed to keep the world safe by connecting data across agencies. But the way South Park uses the symbolism of the black box makes it feel like something much more powerful and much more dangerous. The box that Satan holds and everyone wants to control suddenly looks like a stand-in for that kind of technology. It's not just a container of secrets, it's a map of them.
Mr. President, I'm feeling much better.
oh,
You getting fucked, dude. That's not from a movie.
By the time it all clicks, the connection between the black box, J.D. Vance, and Peter Thiel feels like the punchline to a very dark joke. South Park uses all its chaotic energy to tell a story that's less about comedy and more about control. Behind the loud jokes and absurd plot, it's quietly asking the most dangerous question of all. Who's really running the show?
What the fuck?
Hello?
Oh, you've got to be shitting me. What? This is the strategic advisor for predictive market apps. Time to take the bet
I
down.
believe your complaint was being reviewed by the head of the FCC.
Palantir's Gotham sounds like the name of a superhero city, but in real life, it feels more like the opposite. It's a system built to track patterns, predict behavior, and flag possible threats before they even happen. That might sound like the future of safety, but South Park flips it into something way darker. The show turns the idea of data control into the real villain, a kind of digital overlord that doesn't need a cape or horns to be terrifying. In the same way Satan held that mysterious black box, Gotham became its modern twin. A black box made of algorithms and code instead of fire and brimstone.
They took it down.
Wow.
We're gonna win, and they took down our bets.
How could the app company do that? I'm
Eric
not in
got
at 9
lucky.
to 1 odds. This
Then the focus shifts back to the thing everyone keeps pretending doesn't exist. They're not just papers or evidence. They're symbols of every secret buried to protect the powerful. The whispers about a leaked calendar tied to Peter Thiel's name send the same message South Park is hinting at, as there are things too explosive for the public eye. The show transforms those hidden connections into the unborn baby, the truth that's growing whether anyone likes it or not. Trump's obsession with stopping the birth isn't just part of the plot, it's a reflection of how terrified the elite are of their own secrets coming to light.
it was a pretty funny episode. I ain't gonna lie, dude. All of Trump's shenanigans trying to get, his baby mama to lose the baby was crazy as hell.
South Park has never just been a cartoon about bad jokes and chaos. It's always been a mirror, and lately that mirror's starting to look a little too clear. This season takes the satire to a level that feels less like comedy and more like prophecy. Every episode builds toward this slow, creeping realization that power doesn't just corrupt, it erases. Across the 5 episodes, you can feel this pattern forming, where anyone who even thinks about breaking the cycle of control ends up crushed under it. It's not loud or flashy, it's quiet, deliberate, and darkly funny in the most unsettling way.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. The way they portray Vance is fucking hilarious.
The wild part is how they hide it under humor. Every ridiculous moment, every absurd twist about Satan's baby or Trump's panic isn't random, it's code. The censorship, the manipulation, the don't talk about it attitude, it's all a reflection of how real power works. The elites in South Park's world aren't cartoon villains twirling mustaches. They're the kind that smile on camera while making sure no truth ever gets out. The phrase, "the baby must not be born," becomes their mission statement. It's not about an actual child. It's about making sure the truth never takes its first breath. That's South Park's dark genius. It turns something ridiculous into a perfect metaphor for how far those in charge will go to protect themselves.
What
We
about
understand
underwear
you're head of
change?
the FCC, is that correct? Appear to have toxoplasmosis from exposure to cat feces.
Oh.
We
The fact
need
that
you to
his
get
arm
some
is up
rest,
like
try
that,
not to
bro,
move.
is crazy.
South Park has always laughed in the face of authority, but this time, the laughter feels uneasy. Beneath all the chaos and jokes, the message of deep freedom of speech isn't as solid as we like to think. The episode makes it painfully clear that anyone who dares to question the system gets swallowed up by it. Even the inclusion of FCC's Brendan Carr isn't random. It's a shot at how even regulators and public figures get muzzled when they step out of line. The show doesn't scream about censorship. It quietly shows what it looks like people in power smiling while pulling the plug on anyone who talks too loud.
That list that South Park has portrayed Donald Trump as having impregnated the devil and having introduced Brendan Carr to its audience, relentlessly shitting his.
South Park makes you laugh at the madness while quietly reminding you that the madness is real. The last few moments of the episode are classic South Park. Everyone's laughing, chaos settles, and then silence. But the silence doesn't feel like peace. It feels like the kind of static that comes right before a transmission cuts off.